You're welcome once again for Business Today. You're still watching Business Today with me, Rona Nahabwe. Looking at the Djibouti-Clara trade route, Djibouti has sought support from the East African community to enforce multimodal trade route linking the Red Sea to the Atlantic Ocean, seeking to extend trade corridor beyond Addis Ababa to involve Juba, Kampala and West Africa. Djibouti Free Ports and Zones Authority has engaged stakeholders such as Ministry of Works, East African Community Affairs and a profound link to Guru, notably a viable connect to Juba and beyond. Concern has been set to resolving Africa's disjointed transport network for efficient flow of trade and logistics. Take a look.
While Djibouti port is seated at the heart of major international shipping lines linking Africa, Asia and Europe, Djibouti Ports and Free Zones Authority is committed to widening the trade and logistics corridor beyond links to Addis Ababa to involve Juba, Kampala and ultimately road to the Atlantic Ocean. The authority's outreach to Kampala set pace to developments that seek multimodal infrastructure that will connect Kampala and Djibouti via road, railway and air.
In Djibouti we have invested a lot on ports. Many peoples in this part of the region, East Africa, they don't know about Djibouti.
They don't?
Yes.
That's true.
And they don't even consider us as East African. We built 5 ports the last 12 years. And the smallest port is bigger than Mombasa. Yes. Mombasa is 15 meters depth. We are minus 18. So we are handling not only cargo for Ethiopia and in the landlocked countries, also transshipment.
Okay.
We cargo from Europe from Asia, for South Africa, Mozambique, Kenya are dropped in Djibouti and feedered by small ships.
Okay.
So
the corridor covering 4 countries, Djibouti, Ethiopia, South Sudan and Uganda, will only be certain provided affiliate countries such as Uganda open up to the proposal presented by the Ports Authority. Despite challenges to regional trade route provision such as LAPSET for the Great Lakes region, the Ministry of Works contends with Uganda's position as key to regional trade and development, citing need for a feasibility study to be undertaken.
We have all the potential, and that's why my ministry right now is under very big pressure to develop the infrastructure to ensure that we facilitate fast movement of goods and people. We follow the protocols as required. We have, we call them bilateral air service agreements with the Djibouti, and since my friend is already here, I don't think that would be a problem to get the bilateral air service agreements. The challenge will be for us to do a study on the viability of when we take, what do we bring? Or how can we connect? If we go to Djibouti, can we connect to Mogadishu? Juba, Djibouti. This is what we need to study. But otherwise, in terms of routes, we need more routes.
Djibouti International Free Trade Zone holds signs of dominance as the largest in Africa. To the Business Forum Association, harmonization of the tax regime will be crucial to tap into the vast fruit market in the Horn of Africa, as the Minister of East African Affairs considers entering memoranda of understanding with Djibouti prior to ESC-level negotiations.
They have a very good product of the International Free Trade Zone. So we had an idea, as I wrote in a proposal, that if Uganda can request Djibouti government to reduce taxes on our fruits and vegetables, and also Uganda also reduces on the taxes on the goods which come from Djibouti Free Trade Zone to here, like the Uganda airline can make double business. They take and bring back. So instead of going to Dubai, then we get goods from Djibouti and we bring here. So there, the taxation regime, you have to think about that, right, Honorable.
Enter into some memorandums between Djibouti and Uganda as we progress to the other level of the ESC and others, because already we are together in IGAD, so we have somewhere to start.
Chairman Abubakar Omar Hadi stresses Africa's disjointed transport network as factor to less providence in the logistics industry.
On logistics, you cannot build surface transportation parallel to a sea. You are going to lose. You cannot compete. If it has to be perpendicular. When the sea stop, take by train and they call that land bridge. But if you build a Cairo to Cape Town, you cannot pay back the money.
Although Uganda is to as well undertake railway feasibility to link Gulu and Djibouti, there is a 250-kilometer road gap in South Sudan. A memorandum of understanding drafted in 2019 between the four countries is to be revisited to establish a start-off point. Ivan Tibenkana, Smart 24 TV, Business Today.
Thank you, Ivan, for that report. Now looking at labor and trafficking. While Africa and parts of Asia grapple with unemployment, a decisive mechanism to address the challenge has been realized in labor externalization. Unfortunately, human trafficking has been collateral damage in due process. Locally, the Ministry of Internal Affairs has considered establishing a trafficking in persons database to track and identify illegal activity as the Albanian Gulf maintains appeal to the local jobless Ugandans. In post-commemoration of the World Day Against Trafficking in Persons, which happened yesterday, the Ministry of Internal Affairs has further unveiled an online directory of service providers for human trafficking victims to the public for timely access and responders.
Included, we launched the Trafficking in Persons database, which is at the Ministry of Internal Affairs. This database is intended to assist in data collection. Data will be collected from all over the country, from all police regional administrative units, from all police stations, and will be submitted to the Ministry of Internal Affairs for management. The database will also be very useful to assist policymakers and also to generate our reports by annual or quarterly, as and when shall be required. There was also a launch of the online directory of service providers. If we've come across something like this, service providers for victims of trafficking in persons in Uganda, these now can be found online, and you only have to type in directory.ucatip, that is ucatip.org. When you do that, even for any ordinary citizen, you can find out which organizations in the country can support any victims that you may come across.
That report leads us to the end of Business Today. Tonight, before I sign out, here's what topped our focus tonight. In Business Today, Djibouti Ports and Free Trade Zone Authority engages Uganda on logistics route linking Addis, Juba, Kampala, and ultimately West Africa. URSB 2022-2023 report indicates 53 liquidated, 154 insolvent, and 23,789 new companies as private sector notes cost of credit, tough business among challenges. And headline consumer price index drops to 3.9% from 4.9% in the year ended June as Arua, Gulu sustain high prices, while Kampala records a 2% index. And that's pretty much it, what we had for you today on Business Today. Thank you for having joined us tonight. As always, I'm appreciative of your company. I'm Rona Nahabwe, together with Winnie Buyinza for the sign language interpretation. You have a good night.